Welcome, everyone. This session has been put together by the experts over at My Tax Accountant to help clear up the brand new rules on VAT for digital services.
So, if you're a content creator, a streamer, or you run an e-commerce business right here in the UK, you absolutely need to pay attention. There's a rule change that kicked in this year that could see you paying tax twice on the same sale. Yep, you heard that right, twice.
Okay, so let's dive into what can feel like a really complex topic and make it super simple to understand.
We've laid this out to take you from the very basics, like what a digital service even is, all the way through to a really clear action plan you can use for your own business.
First things first, we need to get crystal clear on what HMRC actually considers a digital service. Honestly, it's not always as obvious as you might think. Right, the key phrase here, the one you really need to remember, is minimal human intervention. Basically, if what you're selling is automated or pretty close to it, it's almost certainly a digital service in the eyes of the taxman.
Now, what's really interesting here is the distinction it makes. It all comes down to automation versus a person being involved. So an automated PDF download? Digital service. But if you have to manually email that same PDF, it's not. Same goes for a pre-recorded course versus a live webinar where you're there answering questions. That's not all. Here's where most people go wrong, just assuming that because it's sold online, it must be a digital service.
Okay, before we get to the new EU rules, which are causing all the headaches, let's quickly cover the foundation, how VAT works when you're selling to customers right here in the UK. So this number is absolutely crucial. If your VAT taxable turnover in any rolling 12-month period goes over £90,000, you are legally required to register for VAT here in the UK. Once you're registered, you'll generally have to charge the standard 20% VAT rate. But here's a little pro tip. Some e-publications, think ebooks, can actually be zero rated, so you don't add any VAT.
This is a brilliant example of how that threshold works in the real world. You could be a freelance designer in London selling digital presets. The moment your yearly income from those sales tips over that £90,000 mark, you have to register and start adding 20% VAT to your UK sales.
Let's move on and see how this all builds. And this is the part that has changed in a big way. Stay with me, this next point might actually surprise you.
As of January 1st, 2025, a brand new EU rule has created a massive headache for UK businesses, especially those of you who host live virtual events. This timeline really shows the shift. The problem is UK law hasn't caught up with this change yet. That means you could be on the hook for both UK and EU VAT on the exact same sale. And this is the critical point that so many people miss. There's no grace period, no sales threshold for us when we sell digital services to EU consumers. You have to charge EU VAT from the very first sale you make. So, with all these challenges, how can you possibly make sure your business stays compliant without drowning in paperwork? Well, this scheme is designed to make the whole process much simpler. It lets you handle VAT for all 27 EU member states, all in one place. Just following these steps makes a really daunting process feel so much more manageable. You pick one EU country, register for the scheme, file one return, and make one payment. It's that simple. Now, to use the OSS scheme correctly, you've got to have proof of where your customers actually are. Keeping these records is absolutely essential for staying compliant. Phew, we've covered a lot of ground. So let's boil all of this down into a simple checklist you can start using for your business right now. This checklist gives you your immediate next steps to make sure you're on the right track. Are you getting close to the threshold? Do you sell to the EU? Does your pricing model need a rethink? Can your systems handle the data? And crucially, have you thought about getting professional help? Now, just to be clear, the information we've gone through here is for general guidance. You really shouldn't rely on it alone to make financial decisions. Before you take any action, it is so important to get advice that's tailored to your specific circumstances. The rules are complex, there's no getting around that, but help is definitely available. You should contact the experts at My Tax Accountant. They can help you navigate all these rules, get you set up on the OSS scheme, and make sure your business stays compliant and successful. Give them a call on 0208 570 8531, or you can email them at info@mytaxaccountant.co.uk.